The PRS Modern Eagle 5. Let's talk about it. Today we're diving into one of the most versatile and beautifully crafted PRS guitar. This beast is a tone machine, jam-packed with cutting-edge electronics and PRS's signature craftsmanship. This really is one of the best guitars that PRS make. So the real question is this the ultimate PRS? Well, in today's video we find out, so let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley, and today we're taking another look at the PRS Modern Eagle 5. This time we have a very cool wood library edition. It's finished in a beautiful green fade finish, as well as packed with the cutting edge electronics and all the build qualities that you'd like to see in a PRS. This one also has a stunning flamed maple neck, as it's a wood library and a 10 top, so we're really in for a treat today. So without further ado, let's go over the specs of this beauty. So guys, welcome to the Spec Talk of this Modern Eagle 5. Obviously, it looks the part. It's such a beautiful green burst on this one, and it has a very nice flamed maple neck, obviously from the wood library. This is also a 10 top, meaning it's the highest 10% of wood that PRS can source, meaning it's obviously very high end. But yeah, this model is the Modern Eagle 5. The Modern Eagle series seems to be the series that PRS experiment with recent innovations in guitar technology and building. Obviously, throughout the years, we've had some really cool pickup options and constructions. This one has probably the most complex pickup system. So you've got two TCI humbuckers and one single coil, and then you have a 5-way switch, just like a Strat. Then you're able to independently split the TCI humbuckers. We then have one volume and one tone. So there's a lot of options. You can basically get Strat tones as well as, Gibson tones out of this guitar. Talking deeper about the specs, we have a mahogany body which has this black finish all over. Then we have a two-piece quilt maple top which has that green finish over it. Moving on to the neck, we have a flamed maple neck with the pattern carve, which is a bit more of a thicker carve from PRS. It's not exactly like a 59 profile. It's kind of like a slimmed down version of a 59, so kind of between a 59 and a 60 if we're talking Gibson specs, but it's very rounded, very comfortable indeed. We have a 25-inch scale on this one, so a little bit longer than Gibson but shorter than Fender. We have an ebony fingerboard with the hollowed out birds, which look very nice indeed, with abalone inlay. And as we go to the headstock there, we have the ebony headstock cap with the PRS logo. And we have some pretty interesting tuners. These have the ivory buttons. They are plastic, but they call them the ivory ones. And then we have the, obviously, phase-free locking system, so you just lock them from the top. Brass and chrome shaft, so you have the brass cogs, chrome shaft, and I think that's really cool from PRS. We have 22 medium jumbo frets, which looks like they've been polished very, very nicely indeed. I believe this has a nitro finish. I think some of the Modern Eagle 5s had a nitro finish. This feels a little bit more sticky than your classic PRS finish. Typically, PRS finishes feel quite plasticky, as they've obviously got a plasticizer in to make them thicker and to protect the finish. But this one has a little bit more of a Gibson-y feel. Feels a little bit more sticky, so I would assume it's nitro on this one. I can do the smell test, but I can't quite detect if that is nitro or not. Our nut width is 1.687 inches, and the exact name of these pickups, obviously, as I said, is the TCI humbuckers, and then we have the narrow field single coil in the middle. We have the PRS Gen 3 tremolo, and other than that, that's pretty much all the specs of this guitar. Obviously, we get that big fat brass block, which all the PRS guitars are known for. It gives you really cool sustain, and obviously we've got that gold hardware all over.
And now I'm just going to go over a brief history of the PRS Modern Eagle series.
The PRS Modern Eagle series represents some of the most exclusive, high-end guitars ever produced by Paul Reed Smith. These guitars showcase premium tone woods, unique pickups, and top-tier craftsmanship, pushing the boundaries of what a PRS guitar can be. So the first Modern Eagle guitar came about in 2004, and it was a high-end take on the PRS McCarthy model. However, it wasn't just another PRS, it was an experimental masterpiece with features that set it apart from the rest. It featured a Brazilian rosewood neck and fingerboard. This wood is a very rare and sought-after wood, which was used in the golden era guitar making in the 50s and 60s. They also trialed the PRS wraparound stop tail bridge, which came on a lot of guitars after, getting rid of the use of the additional bridge. And it also had the specifically voice Modern Eagle pickups. And this also had a nitrocellulose finish, which PRS hadn't done to this point. It created a really nice glossy glow to this guitar, and obviously this guitar was meant to be an answer to the vintage guitars of the 50s and the 60s, with the Brazilian rosewood as well as the nitro finish. It was inspired by the McCarthy model, and it's very, very popular in today's market. Then in 2007 we got the Modern Eagle 2, the next evolution. They switched the Brazilian neck to an East Indian rosewood neck. This was due to stricter regulations on Brazilian rosewood. They then introduced the 5708 pickups, which are very popular in PRS's lineup today. They use them in a lot of vintage inspired instruments, and obviously they were inspired by the PAF, the Gibson humbucker. They offered a more classic and dynamic tone, trying to replicate the most iconic pickup ever made. It still had a nitro finish, but it was a lot more thinner. It was like a faded finish as opposed to a high gloss. In 2009 we get the Modern Eagle 3, which is a switch to single coils. In 2009, PRS took a big risk with the Modern Eagle 3 by introducing a single coil pickup configuration, something not often seen on a PRS flagship model. This introduced the idea of the narrow field humbuckers. These are small pickups that combine the clarity of a single coil with noiseless benefits of a humbucker. Then we've got the PRS Modern Eagle Quattro, which is a guitar I've actually personally owned. I had one of the blue ones and it had a high gloss finish, but it showcased their new tremolo design, which was kind of in a Fender kind of vein. It had springs in the back and it was a very smooth tremolo, and to my memory you used to be able to like do dive bombs on it and it used to stay in tune very nicely. Still retained the rosewood neck. It had a little bit of a different headstock design, it had a different inlay. And then finally, the guitar that we have today is the 2022 version, the Modern Eagle 5. And this is what we're arguing is the ultimate PRS guitar. After years of anticipation, PRS revived the Modern Eagle series in 2022 with the Modern Eagle 5, taking versatility and innovation to a whole new level. It had a triple pickup system, 2 narrow field humbuckers and a single coil in the middle, giving it an insane range of tones. But this is seen as kind of like the most ultimate PRS. It's kind of, you know, the most updated in terms of innovation, and it really is a Swiss Army knife and one of the most versatile PRS guitars ever made. So without further ado, let's go to the tone demonstration and hear how this guitar sounds. So welcome to the tone demonstration of this Modern Eagle 5. For today's demo, I'm plugged directly into my Kemper Profiler unit. I'm using a Vox AC30 preset, one that I use in most of these videos. I'm just going to go through all the pickup tones just so you can hear them first off. I'm going to be playing Human Nature, the same rendition that I played in the intro of today's video. Obviously, it's John Mayer's kind of version that he played at Michael Jackson's funeral. Playing with the fingers. I'm going to start with humbucker mode, go through all the pickups, and then I'm going to switch to single coil so you can hear the difference. This is the neck humbucker. Next position down. All the tones with the humbucker engaged. I'm now going to split everything down, play a few different things, but this is the next single coil. So let's hear that next single coil in action. Next position. Middle position. now that we've heard all the clean tones, obviously there's a lot of tones to get through there, so sorry if that was boring. But obviously you've heard a little bit of everything. Now I'm just going to go to some dirty tones and just prioritise the humbucking pickups on this one. So let's hear that neck pick. Buzz time. So guys, we're at the end of another video. Before I get into my personal review of this guitar, make sure to go down on this video and leave your comments in the comment section below. Better still, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'm going to rate this guitar a 6 out of 10 today. If you guys have seen my previous video on the PRS Modern Eagle 5, I'm not a massive fan of the way they play. Personally, it feels like too many options, and also the kind of feel of this guitar was quite stiff. I didn't find it that easy to play. Unfortunately, that might be down to the setup, or it might be down just to the guitar itself, but I found that it was quite hard to express myself on this guitar. However, there is some positives. I love the way that this guitar looks. The green burst is so sublime. It's very nice to hold in person. It's got this kind of very high gloss finish, very nice to hold. The single coil tones are really good on this guitar, and the narrow field pickups, the neck and the bridge, do sound really good, especially the bridge pickup. But you guys will have to let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the tones. But for me, it was the TCI pickups that really brought this guitar through, and the kind of humbucker tones rather than the single coils. It had quite a high action on it, and I felt when I was picking the guitar that the tremolo was kind of coming up and down, so it's probably a setup problem more than an actual guitar problem, but I didn't enjoy playing this guitar as much as I thought I would. So that's why I'm going to rate it 6 out of 10 today. It may still be the ultimate PRS for some people, but for me, it isn't. I'd much prefer a PRS McCarthy double cut with 2 humbuckers in. That would be my ultimate PRS. But thank you so much for tuning in today's video, guys. My name's Ben Keightley, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.